Hey everyone, it's Bob again. It's Monday morning and we are going to load another load of 70-foot poles going to the place up in South Dakota again. I said we can spread the wealth, but he said yeah, but you know where it is. So I guess I get it one more time before somebody else. So we're gonna head up there and get loaded. It is filthy, so we're going to give her a bath. Okay, it's better than it was. It really needs a good scrubbing and waxing, but in this weather, that's not going to happen. But it looks a lot better. Alright, well, we got loaded, had a little trouble with the weight. Last time I had my wheels on the trailer spread, and I was too heavy on my drives. This time I thought, well, though it's the same load. They did it a little different, and I had my wheels spread, and then I was too heavy on my drives. I had to bring the wheels together. That took the weight off the front. Now I'm good. I'm 10,400 on the steer. 33,360 on the drives, and just under 33,000 on the rear tandem. So we're good to go. So we're gonna get rolling. Forgot, I had to go in for my DOT physical this morning, and apparently I'm breathing enough that they let me pass. So we're good for another cycle. The biggest problem, though, is my shoulders hurt because I needed to get my booster for shingles, and I was also due for a tetanus shot. But I got one in this arm and one in this arm, so now both my arms are sore. They also said that it's time for a colonoscopy. Hey! So we'll have some fun with that coming up. We'll have to figure out when I can do it. You know, I'm not so worried about the actual procedure. I just hate the prep. But we'll get everything all taken care of so that we're good for another 10 years, hopefully. When we got our permit in Evanston, the lady said something weird. I went through the permit to find out what she was talking about, because she said I could run on the interstate after dark. I couldn't run on the primary or secondary roads. And I went back and looked, and it does say if you're wide, you can run on the interstate after dark if you light everything up, but you can't go on primary and secondary. And the very next paragraph says if you are over length, as long as you're not over 110 feet, which I'm at 90, then it says if you properly light, you can keep going. And it doesn't specify interstate or primary or secondary. So I think she was confusing the requirement. So I'm driving after dark. I do have lights on the back, so we're legal. We got back to that truck stop there in Midwest Wyoming. In calculating it all out, I didn't see where I was really going to have too much of an advantage for if I kept going, which I could have done for another couple hours, but I don't recall any really good places to park for the night with a really long load. And this is a great spot, so I'll just be able to start earlier in the morning, a little after 8. So I could have drove later, but I would have had to start later. So I figured this was going to work out pretty good. So this is as far as we got. Now we're going to go to bed and we'll get going in the morning. This morning, currently up past Gillette. We ought to be able to get there about 4 o'clock. The weather's doing really good. They were doing some pre-treatments south of Gillette on the roads, but I mean, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything. Maybe they're just trying to get ahead of it. easy. Had a different operator there this time, and he knew what he was doing. So he didn't know about taking the top row off together with it all banded, but he did that, and then he took two at a time off on the lower levels, and that went really quick. So I called in, and apparently the only load he could find anywhere going back was in Minnesota, around Minneapolis. And he said it just wasn't worth me running 3/4 of the distance that it would take me to get home to get a load coming back. So we're just rolling on back. I've got 4.5 hours of drive time left for today and 6 hours to do it in, so I can run my drive clock out. That'll get me past Gillette, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's Wednesday morning. I'm getting up and getting going. I got to Gillette last night, had 7 minutes left, and apparently overnight we got a dusting. It doesn't look too bad. I'm sure the roads are going to be okay. You know, whenever you're empty, you're always a little worried because you have no weight for traction, but we should be all right. Looks like just to the south, you know, I can see the kind of the edge of the cloud, so it shouldn't be bad. So we're going to get going and head the rest of the way back. Alright, we got back to the yard and I dropped the trailer, and I hit a few flurries here and there. Mostly the blowing snow is all we hit. So it was a pretty good trip back. He wanted me to come back because he's got something else for me to do for the second part of the week. So that'll make a pretty good mileage week because it's 950 miles up there and back. So that'll wrap up this trip. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.